Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk all news, comics, and media related to the Transformers. On this episode, Void Rivals continues its gratuitous Transformers cameos. Darryl's back to give his review of Skybound Transformers #1, and we've got more guest announcements for TFcon Orlando this weekend. Today is Friday, October 20th, 2023, and this is episode 360 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that doesn't have any enemies, only rivals. I'm host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Darryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. Let's talk Transformers.
As always, we start the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all so much for continuing to help us out and support the show. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to become a Donatron, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up. Of course, as a Donatron, you get some bonus content. That includes our bonus show, We Like Big Bots, done by Darryl and Dr. Pants. There's 10 episodes available on our Donatron page, on our Patreon page, so you can get them all there. Season 1 is 10 episodes, and there's going to be season 2 coming soon, very soon. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that. We've also got our Transformers Live Play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust, currently on hiatus, but we have a bonus show called the Rustford Files, and that is up to 2 episodes right now. Episode 3 will be coming next week. So actually this Monday, you will be getting episode 3 on our transmissionspodcast.com/Rust Empire of Rust feed. So that's our live play RPG podcast. In these special episodes of the Rustford Files, Mike is a player, not the GM. So he gets to participate while the GM is the voice of Magnum. So that's an interesting reversal there. So you can check that out. And all the players are playing different characters. So it's a fun little adventure. Of course, we've got our Transformers code for toyhacks.com. Our friends at toyhacks.com give us a discount, 15% off all your orders at toyhacks.com if you use our code Skybound. So that's for October. This is good until the end of October. So right up until Halloween, you can use that code Skybound to get your 15% off, and then the code will change for November. So please continue to use our code. Help out the show, help yourself out with that big discount, and help out toyhacks.com. And lastly, of course, we got to remind you, our exclusive Transformers #1 cover is available on our website, transmissionspodcast.com/comic. You can buy it for $15. We've got them all here. We had a review of Transformers #1 last week. We're going to continue that discussion this week. But you can get our exclusive cover on our website. This is art by E.J. Sue, the only IDW artist to do a cover for the Transformers #1 relaunch of the comic series. So if you are a fan of IDW and have a nostalgia for that, check out our cover. All right, let's jump in, and we'll start off with some comics news. So just one kind of little bit of news for the Energon universe from Skybound. They teased Skybound on their Twitter account, teased the next cover for Void Rivals. This is issue number 5. And it looks like we're going full Quintesson in issue number 5 of Void Rivals. So we've already had Quintesson cameos in Void Rivals. The Quintesson prosecutor, not the judge, but here it looks like the judge might be making an appearance. Here come the judge. Here come the judge. And the next issue of Void Rivals. So
I didn't think it would be appropriate if I did that.
You are correct, sir. So I've been enjoying Void Rivals. I think it's it's been kind of a slow burn, but it sets up an interesting universe, interesting kind of story with these two warring planets around this black hole. So the Transformers references don't feel too integrated yet, but we'll see how if that changes in future episodes. But it is interesting to see a lot of Quintesson references. DJ Rowan comments, "You never go full Quintesson." So
it's one surefire way to get canceled these days.
All right, well that's all the only bit of news for comics, but we do want to continue the discussion about Transformers #1 because we did our review last week, but Darryl wasn't here. And Darryl didn't really have anything new to say about our Darryl AI. Just could only regurgitate stuff about previous comics, so didn't really have any new thoughts. So we did want to hear from Darryl about your thoughts on Transformers #1, the relaunch, the reboot. It's under new management. It's Skybound. So Darryl, what did you think? Did this pull you in, or did it leave you feeling cold?
You guys have me a lot more interested in listening to these past two episodes now, because what the hell did you do to me? The aforementioned Transformers #1, which we showed off my multiple copies that I purchased with my own money in trips to the store last week or earlier in the week, is for longtime listeners of the podcast, you will know that I am not a big fan of big, huge story building and stuff. I want some fighting. Just give me some fighting, some robots punching each other in the face, and this happened very, very quickly in this issue. You started off the book with a little bit of chatting, introducing a couple human characters who if you're a fan of the G1 cartoon, you knew already. Some of them might look a little different, but you knew the names and you recognized, their ties, or what will be their ties to the Transformers. And then the fighting started right away. It didn't take very long. And it started with a murder, a direct murder of so Starscream blatantly shooting Bumblebee in the face, killing him was
we assume.
Yes, that's true. This is not the IDW universe, so we don't know if there's, the threefold spark kind of thing. We don't know if there's like something to, the brain is modules in the head kind of.
Maybe
I don't know.
Just got the voice box.
Maybe. That's true. He looked pretty dead.
So just to interject, at New York Comic Con last weekend, they did have a Transformers panel. I haven't seen a lot of news out of that panel, but the one quote I did see was that Daniel Warren Johnson was pretty clear on, yes, he killed off Bumblebee and he has no plans to bring him back. So as long as he's writing the book right now, Bumblebee will stay dead. But of course, depending on how long the series goes, if new writers take it over, new artists take it over, there's always chance for resurrection. It's comics. No one ever stays dead, especially robots. Right. Don't stay dead.
Especially Bumblebee.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see them take him out so quickly. And then obviously the book ends on a death as well. So that was also, I didn't expect that, because the whole Energon universe started with Skyfire and now he's dead. So, that's something. But all in all, I really enjoyed the book. You really didn't get a lot of world building, and that's fine with me. You can sprinkle that in over the course of the next few issues. You can build out from this battle where they've all kind of started inside the arc. And I kind of like the way that they've started this, how the Autobots have fled the arc because Teletran has been destroyed, and the Decepticons are the ones kind of in control of the arc at this point. It's an interesting take. It starts very similarly to a lot of Transformer stories, but there are a lot of differences. There are a lot of ways that you can take this story. Megatron exists because Starscream stops Soundwave from saying his name, and or is it Skywarp from saying his name? Right,
no, Soundwave. It was Soundwave.
It was Soundwave. Okay,
yeah.
So Megatron's around. I don't think he's on the ship. So he's around, and you can expect that at some point he's going to make an appearance once word gets out that the Decepticons and the Autobots have reignited this battle on Earth. So I expect that to happen. But it was a very good issue. I enjoyed the action. I'm interested to know who this friend of Spike's was that died. I'm assuming it was a death. Is it Jimmy? Was it Jimmy? Yeah. So
the current assumption is that it's his older brother. We don't really have any concrete information about that, but that's the current assumption.
So, I thought it might have, I assumed it was a family member. That's something like that. But that's also another different take from G1. All we knew of Spike and Sparkplug was that they were father and son, and they never changed their clothes. So,
and Spike was 14 working on an oil rig.
It's true. Yep. And so it's a nice different take. Carly looks completely different in the comics, and in the TV show she looked like Gwen Stacy. And here she's got a whole new look. So, traded in the blonde hair for the black or brunette hair, and much shorter as well. So, I'm all for it. I was hoping that they were gonna go in. The friend that they had was Chip Chase, and that he was gonna get paralyzed or something like that with the fall in the mountain. Like, I thought, oh, come on, paralyzed Chip.
I still don't understand how any of them survived that fall.
No one's ever disabled as long as they have courage.
Right. It's true. Yes, they're differently abled. You're true. You're right there. But it's I thought it was a great story, a great way to start. But I will admit to you that there really wasn't any world building at all, and I'm fine with that.
It was definitely geared towards bringing in the casual fan.
Yeah. And I mean, I joke with this with Charles at the start. We know this from kind of reading Daniel Warren Johnson's Twitter and all this other stuff, but we know he's a wrestling fan. And I noticed right away, he snuck in a bunch of wrestling moves. The suplex was the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And Charles pointed out, he's like, there's a bunch of headlocks too. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's the headlocks and stuff. So yeah. So so the action scenes are definitely, action packed. He's very good at doing the action scenes. The art is very, very good. So yeah, it was a good story. I'm happy to see where issue 2 goes.
Yeah, I mean, we Jeremy and I hashed everything out last week, so we're not going to repeat ourselves. But I'm glad to hear that it was enjoyable for you. So we'll see where things go with next issue. So the next issue should be early November. So we'll take a look then.
Glad I bought 7 issues of it.
I still got a couple more coming.
You actually bought 1,000 of them. Transmissionspodcast.com/comic. You can get your copy. All right. Well, yeah, that's our discussion with Darryl. So we've got all our thoughts on Transformers #1. I'm sure when we get Dr. Pants and Apollo and Mike back on, they can give us their thoughts as well. But let's move on with some media news.
All right. So Takara Tomy has officially announced the crossover with Transformers and Case Play. Never heard of that before, but it's a site that you can buy phone cases. Seems innocent enough. They have designed 10 Transformers phone cases that are available. They range from G1 to Rise of the Beast or the Autobot Insignia, and are compatible with over 100 mobile phones such as iPhone, Xperia, Pixel, Galaxy, and more. The phone cases are priced approximately $30, so $29.99 ish. So yeah, you can take a look at that.
The Soundwave one looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's neat. And anybody,
There it is. Yeah.
it's art, like, is it modern art? Is it?
It's a mix. So
Yeah.
there's some classic box art in there.
Okay.
So it's.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
I think they're cool. It's not the style of phone case I go for at this point. I go for the more rubberized ones because I drop my phone all the time.
Yeah,
These
and
are
I
the
actually
clear acrylic.
I do the book ones or the wallet ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those are the kind that I tend to go for.
If you do like phone cases, go to transmissionspodcast.com/tpublic and get some phone cases with art designs.
Can we get phone cases on TeePublic?
Yeah.
Why have we not been getting phone cases?
I mean, it's up there. You can do it.
Man. Awesome.
They don't have the wallet style, though.
Damn it. All right. Moving on. We had tonight as we record, there is a new show premiering called The Toys That Built America. And it premiered at 9 p.m. tonight. And so it's already out. And the first episode is out. And the first episode is the history of Transformers and GoBots. So you might want to check that out. It is on the History Channel. So if you have that, you can do that. You might be able to stream it somewhere. But if you don't have that, then you might be able to sail the 7 seas and find it somewhere there. That's my plan.
And this was shared by Dan Larson from Toy Galaxy, who was on, Hasbro's PulseCon. But I know other, like the Transformers YouTuber Rodimus Primal said he's going to be on it. And I'm sure there's going to be other familiar people from YouTube on there.
Mm-hmm.
Not us.
No.
Unless that's where you were when you were traveling all the time.
No. Nope. Unfortunately not. But yeah, no, it looks good. I always like it when the Transformers make the jump to like mainstream TV like this. So generally, for people that are as plugged in as we are, generally the information that they give is all kind of the same thing we've heard a million times, but it's still nice to see it on the big screen kind of thing. Well, big screen like my television,
like Charles's television.
Not as big as Charles's television, but yeah.
All right. Well, that's all our media news for this week. So we will move on to convention news.
All right. TFcon Orlando is this weekend as we're recording this, and we have some last minute announcements of guests. We're starting here with Sarah Petra Durocher, who is was an artist on a bunch of IDW stuff, probably most prominently to All R1, but her style is just so amazing, and was so happy to see her work evolve, and she's getting all the credit that she deserves for it because it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Aaron Archer, who is the former brand manager and designer on Transformers for Hasbro. Now he is independent. He has a podcast called The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer, and it's always cool getting to hear from him, his thoughts on how things were created. He worked back during the Armada era, so he had a big influence in those. So he also worked on many other toys for Hasbro and Kenner. So
he did the first masterpiece figure, MPO1, the Optimus Prime.
Yeah. And I think he did a lot of work on Batman the Animated Series toys as well. So next up, we have Josh Perez, who was a comics artist and colorist for many IDW stuff. And he did Robots in the Skies, More Than Meets the Eye, Beast Wars, says Transformers versus ROM. So Josh is amazing. He did the colors on our 2016 till R1 cover. And if you get a chance to talk with him, he's just hilarious. So good to see him coming back, and make sure to hang out with him if you can. Next is Rick Alvarez, who was also a previous creative manager at Hasbro, worked on Transformers. He's gonna be hosting special panels at TFcon, and he's also more recently he has an art studio, and at the last TFcon we went to, he had tons of framed art pieces and stuff. So I'm sure he's going to have similar things here. So if you want to buy fancy Transformer art, he is your person to go to. Next up is Josh Bertram, who is a colorist and also artist on the Transformers Beast Wars series. So he did colors for mini-series, and then he finally got to have a series of his own with Beast Wars and just had a great style. And he's also a great person to hang out with, and check him out. And I'm sure if you check any of these artist socials, if they still have commission slots, they're probably up there, but probably most of them are gone at this point. But be sure to just ask. Who knows? They might be holding some for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have a Transformers movie stunt driver, Chris Zaragoza. He was a stunt driver for the 2007 movie Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, and The Last Night. So never actually got to see him on screen. We got to see the effects of his work on screen. And it's interesting to hear, especially people like him, that, whatever you want to say about these movies, the action scenes were great. And that's a large part to these stunt drivers. So it'll be interesting to hear from him. And then we also have the Transformers movie stunt coordinator, John Carmichael. So I'm sure they're going to be working together. He was assistant stunt coordinator on the 2007 movie and Dark of the Moon. And so he's going to have a Q&A panel and have be able to meet with fans. So pretty cool getting some live action movie representation in there. So hope everyone that is going to TFCon has a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we are not going to be there. So hopefully, if you did go, give us some feedback. Transformerspodcast.com/feedback, and let us know how it was and what your highlights were. Mm-hmm. That is all that we have in convention news.
All right. And we will finish up the show with some feedback. All right. So this week we've got some comments from YouTube. So we on our alt mode from last week. So that was when we did our review of Transformers #1. We got some comments from some longtime listeners here. So we've got DMC 2008, one of our Donatreons. says, just received the exclusive cover this morning. You guys are the best. Looking forward to reading it and checking out your review. And I hope you did. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought. Give us some leave another comment. Let us know what you thought of the issue. Stuart, one of the frequent YouTube commenters, says in response to my complaint about the Autobots, all the Transformers knowing English when they immediately land on Earth. He says the entire problem, quote unquote problem with aliens knowing English extends to their names as well. Why would a 4 million year old alien robot be named after an Earth insect? Ratchet, it's an Earth tool, I think. Weird Wolf, all technically head scratchers, at least for me. Yeah, no argument there.
No.
In my mind, that's just the English translation of whatever their name would be.
Yeah.
Whatever a Ratchet would be in Cybertronian just translates to Ratchet.
I would have appreciated one line of exposition, like when they say, "Oh, downloading language reference,"
or if there was
something.
Even just something on Sebit Teletran did that when it was assembling them.
Yeah, like inputting Earth language or something. I don't know. Whatever. It was still good, still a fun issue. I mean, that's like I said, it's not a nitpick for just Transformers. It's a nitpick for basically all sci-fi with aliens. So, last comment comes from JF Snow, another one of our Donatrions, one of our Canadian Donatrions. So, Darryl, you get that comic to him as soon as possible when it gets to you.
You saying that just because he has snow in his name? Other parts of the world get snow. Come on.
Okay, I'm saying it because it's in the comment. Let me read the comment.
Charles didn't want to read the comment. That's the thing.
No, JF Snow says, I had my local small store pull every cover it could get, so I had to explain that yes, I have 5 covers of the same issue, and I'm waiting now for my donator copy up here in the beautiful land of Canada to put me at 6. I did not request the multiple covers for issue 2, as that would be harder to justify versus a brand new issue number 1. I'm not sure about how the Duke and Cobra Commander series will link to the universe, but may pick up the Real American Hero number 1 to support the continuation of Larry Hama's work. I found the art kind of off-putting. It is far more sparse than the IDW verse, which does make it easier to follow for sure, but seems rather empty when compared to an Alex Milne panel. No place to put some Easter eggs. So sounds like he's a fan of the more detailed work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's definitely a point to be made there. Some of those Alex Milne panels, you could spend an hour looking at them, and you just keep seeing new things, right? So he's quite a talented artist.
Yep. Yeah, I hope they do bring back Alex Milne and other IDW artists at some point for the new Skybound series, because I think they definitely deserve to have be brought back in, have their recognition as really cool Transformers artists. We've had a lot of really great Transformers artists, and they all came, a lot of them came from the fandom too. So
that's right.
Nice to see them coming back. All right, well, that's all our feedback for this week. Thanks everyone for writing in, and continue to send in those comments. And let us if you are enjoying the new Transformers series, let us know. Send in more comments, and we'll continue the discussion. But we won't continue the discussion this week, because that's it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. As always, at the end of every episode, we give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. These are the folks who continue to support the podcast at our highest level on Patreon, and that's why they deserve a mention in every episode. So thank you once again to John 4x11 Good and Demotech 82. You are awesome. And you know what? You out there, listeners and watchers, you're awesome too. Thank you all for continuing to support the show. Watch us every week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.